So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get the chaser on the dyno. The dyno is currently being taken up by some stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap this thing up and get it all going. We'll street tune it just to get the car done and out of here, and then the customer can pick it up. So we've got the vacuum line for the turbo to the wastegate. Boost controller is not wired up yet. The boost controller is sitting off of this harness right here, most notably this blue connector here. So we're gonna hook up the boost controller. A part of me really does not want to either, since we're not using it yet, just because that this harness is kind of weird and I don't have like a good place to mount said boost controller just yet. But again, it's just a street tune, so it's just gonna be wastegate pressure. The next thing is the blow-off valve vacuum line is not hooked up. We're gonna just kind of hijack it from one of these vacuum sources over here. We'll just tee it in and call that a day. The same thing with flex fuel. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a good place to add the flex fuel sensor, but we're gonna go ahead and wire it up, and then I'll zip tie this harness out of the way. And after that, it's just a bunch of management, like cable management, stuff, cable and hose management. And then from here, it's doing all the wiring inside and tucking the ECU back in where it needs to go. And then from there, I think we're ready to rock. So, like I said, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I got some Tesa tape put on here just to clean it all up and keep everything tidy. I've got to heat shrink this in, and I still have to tap in the ground wire for the flex fuel sensor. I'm trying to leave this is the fuse right here for the flex fuel and wideband. I'm gonna probably try to tuck it down here in the carpet. And the reason why I wanna do that is that I kinda wanna keep this in an area that's relatively easy to get to, just because that if this fuse ever pops for whatever reason, then trying to have to take this entire center console ordeal back out just doesn't seem like a lot of sense when I can just tuck this away. So I left this a little bit on the long side. But yeah, so that's basically it. We'll go ahead and heat shrink this in real quick and we'll call it a day. All right, so I have the ECU sitting back here. It's not mounted to anything, but it seems like it's gonna be nice and tucked into there. I don't think we're gonna have a problem though. I hope not anyways, but I don't think so. I also have the fuse just sitting here, and we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to tuck it underneath the the carpet right here, so it just sits right there. And then the USB cable as well is just going to be kind of hanging out down here, and we're gonna go ahead and throw the little cover back on here, and hopefully that's the end of that. Go ahead and go half throttle.
Keep going.
Good.
Alright.
Let's see where we hit the boost cut at.
Yeah.
That cut is like, it feels violent
Yeah.
and scary.
Yeah.
But that's just because that it's there to protect the motor. It doesn't actually, it actually doesn't, how should I say this? It's actually not bad. It feels bad. But
It feels bad. Yeah. I was like not expecting that.
Yeah. So we have the boost cut set at basically 14.5 PSI.
Yeah.
And we've exceeded it, or we started to get really close to exceeding it.
Okay.
So the ECU just cut it down.
Cut it down.
Yeah. So I'm going to raise that up. Go ahead and, is anyone around us?
No, not really.
Okay, so go ahead and go back to third, and then about 2,500, 3,000. Go ahead and hit it. Alright. So we hit boost cut again. Oh yeah. Okay, so we actually have some type of problem.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like detrimental, just drive.
Okay.
Yeah, just drive. So basically your boost cut, I turned it up to about 17 PSI.
Yeah.
And it started to really